LiteParse version 2.1. Let's start with the basics. LiteParse is an open-source document parser written in Rust. It reads PDFs and extracts text together with its position on the page, completely on your own machine. There is no cloud service, no API key, and no large language model involved by default. Because the engine is native Rust built on PDFium, it is small and very fast. It runs fully offline, so your documents never leave the machine. For every piece of text, it also keeps the bounding box, the exact position on the page. And the same engine ships with bindings for Python, Node, and even the browser through WebAssembly. So how does a page actually become Markdown? First, PDFium loads the document and LiteParse pulls out every text item with its coordinates. Next, a grid projection step reconstructs the visual layout, figuring out columns, rows, and alignment. Then, new in version 2.1, a Markdown layout pass classifies those lines into headings, tables, lists, and paragraphs. Finally, it emits clean Markdown. Here is the headline of version 2.1. Markdown is now a first-class output format, sitting right next to plain text and JSON. This turns LiteParse from a text extractor into the fastest open-source, model-free pipeline for converting PDFs into Markdown. Older versions gave you a wall of space-aligned text. Version 2.1 reconstructs genuine structure. Headings are recovered from font size and position. Tables are rebuilt from the spatial grid. Lists, bold, italics, and links are detected as inline structure. And raster images are surfaced as Markdown references. Let's see it on a real document. This is a page from Apple's annual report, a dense financial filing. LiteParse turns it into Markdown with proper headings and a real table of securities. The honest number. The full 121-page report converts in about 260 milliseconds, roughly 2 milliseconds per page. Tables are where LiteParse shines. This sample is actually a Japanese financial statement with a borderless table. LiteParse still reconstructs 22 table rows as a clean pipe table. When a region is too ambiguous to trust, it deliberately falls back to a fenced grid rather than emitting a mangled table. What about charts? On this research paper, the headings, body text, and result tables all come through cleanly. But here is an honest limitation. Charts that are drawn as vector graphics are not extracted as images. In LiteParse, images means embedded raster pictures, not vector plots. When a document does contain real raster images, LiteParse can pull them out. Setting the image mode to embed returns the actual picture bytes for each figure. Here it extracted 3 logos directly from the annual report, each one referenced from the Markdown, so you can wire them back together. For scanned pages and photos, LiteParse adds OCR. An image-only file gives you nothing until OCR is switched on. With it enabled, an easy OCR server running on the graphics card reads this receipt in about 80 milliseconds. Crucially, OCR is selective. It only runs where there is no real text layer, so you don't pay for it on born digital pages. LiteParse is not limited to English. On this born digital Arabic PDF, the title and most of the body come out in correct logical reading order, with only minor word shuffling at the line edges. The script is handled, but there is an important caveat, which is the next slide. And here is the honest caveat. LiteParse assembles text strictly by horizontal position and does not yet apply the Unicode bidirectional algorithm. So right-to-left scripts can come out reversed, both in native extraction and after OCR. The OCR engine reads the Arabic correctly, but the order is lost when the words are lined up. If you need logical order Arabic or Hebrew, add a simple BD post-processing pass. You stay in control of the output. The image mode flag lets you emit lightweight placeholder references, embed the real bytes, or strip images entirely. And a links flag decides whether hyperlinks become Markdown links or stay as plain anchor text. Small switches, predictable results. How does it stack up? Among model-free tools, version 2.1 leads 3 independent benchmarks: ParseBench, OpenDataLoader, and OLM OCR. And it does this while processing a page in roughly 3 milliseconds, far faster than alternatives that range up to nearly 200 milliseconds per page. And this is speed you can feel. The published figure is about 3 milliseconds per page, and in local testing 121 page, filing converted at just over 2 milliseconds per page. There is no model to load and no GPU required for Markdown. It is pure CPU, pure Rust. Under the hood, a few new pieces make this possible. A large Markdown layout module classifies the page into blocks. A custom PDFium fork exposes extra font signals. And a set of text recovery passes, reverse character maps, glyph name lookups, and figure clustering squeeze out as much accurate text as possible before the Markdown is written. Getting started is easy. Install the command line tool through Cargo, or grab the bindings from pip or npm. Then a single command renders any document to Markdown. LiteParse your file, format Markdown. That is the whole workflow. From coded is just as direct. Create a parser, choose Markdown as the output format, pick how images are handled, and call parse. The rendered Markdown comes back on result.txt. Any extracted images come back as raw bytes you can save. The Node and TypeScript API mirrors this exactly. A quick word on hardware. The Markdown reconstruction itself is pure CPU work. The optional OCR, however, is offloaded to the graphics card. In this setup, an easy OCR server runs on an RTX 4090, with the English and Arabic models cached locally and loaded once. Everything stays on device, fast, private, and free of any cloud bill. So when should you reach for LiteParse? It is excellent for fast, local, bulk conversion of PDFs into Markdown to feed language models and retrieval pipelines. Be clear-eyed about the trade-off. This is a heuristic pipeline, not a vision model, so there is an upper bound on accuracy, and it is tuned for left-to-right scripts today. For most ingestion jobs, that trade is exactly what you want.
If you like this video, please subscribe and share. Thank you.